It's self-evident that the Declaration of Independence is a deeply hypocritical document. For all its ringing words about rights, with life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness listed as primary ones, for its claims of the importance of freedom and the power of people to choose their own government, it is a fraud. The Declaration was written by and for white men. It only empowered them to break free from England to form their own nation. Of the approximately 3 million people living on the eastern seaboard of North America in 1776, most were excluded. And yet, when the colonies of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina and Georgia decided to join together to create a new nation, they were responsible for a truly historic action. The Continental Congress appointed 5 men to draft the Declaration: Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania, Thomas Jefferson of Virginia, John Adams of Massachusetts, Robert R. Livingston of New York and Roger Sherman of Connecticut. The principal author, Jefferson, among other founding fathers, including George Washington, depicted above in an 1853 lithograph overseeing his slaves in an image from the Granger Collection as published in Smithsonian Magazine, owned more than 600 slaves in his lifetime and carried on a lengthy sexual relationship with one of them, Sally Hemings. She was a mere teen when this began, and was his property. He denied the children born of their union, and set them to work on his plantation to pay for his expensive habits, including wine and first edition books. He called for returning black Americans to Africa. The Declaration of Independence gave no mind to women, or Native Americans or anyone who wasn't a white, male property owner. And yet, the Declaration of Independence still matters. It was written by flawed men, products of their time and culture. But the basic idea it expresses, that a free people should decide for themselves who they were governed, matters. While we commemorate the final version of the document approved on July 4, 1776, there is another, lesser-known event from July 5 worth recalling. On July 5, 1852, abolitionist leader Frederick Douglass, a former slave, delivered a speech titled, "What, to the Slave, is the 4th of July?" Speaking at Corinthian Hall in Rochester, NY, the great orator began by praising the Founding Fathers. "Fellow citizens, I am not wanting in respect for the fathers of this republic. The signers of the Declaration of Independence were brave men. They were great men, too, great enough to give frame to a great age. It does not often happen to a nation to raise, at one time, such a number of truly great men. The point from which I am compelled to view them is not, certainly, the most favorable, and yet I cannot contemplate their great deeds with less than admiration.